Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it is in the world where you're watching this. Welcome to yet another edition of the Living World of Darkness. The scene finds us inside of a bar near uh, in Chelsea, the lower part of Manhattan that has not yet been taken by the Sabbat. Gwen O'Connor is enjoying a drink, uh, writing a few things down on some pieces of paper. She has a few ideas running through her mind, just trying to finalize them. She's carrying her handbag, and her ghoul and the bodyguard are kind of, they're watching down the street for suspicious people. With all three of them have their Bluetooth headsets in, and that is where Gwen sits as she opens her scene. She's actually reading the newspaper. She's got a newspaper folded up and a pen, just writing some notes down.
Lucius will come in. We having a cigarette in his mouth. He dressed in normal street clothing, nothing super shaft. Just more like a hoodie and a leather jacket over it. And he looked reasonably casual. And as he goes in, he just nods, looks at the bartender, and asks for a drink. Nothing special, just like a beer or something. And then he'll take a seat opposing you.
And just as he sits down, the door will open again, and um, an individual that Lucius would know and Gwen doesn't kind of darts in, looks around, sees Lucius, and walks up to him. Hey, I saw you from across the street, and I just want to say hi. So, hi.
Well, hello there, Lucy from the Rose.
Gwen smiles, um, remembering Lucy from wherever they met before with Lucius and Branwyn, whatever his face was. Or was that someone else? I can't remember. But she gives a smile.
I don't think you ever met Lucy yet.
I met someone then.
Obviously, someone at some point.
I actually thought we had met as well, but I'm not quite sure.
I think it was in this. Yeah, it was in the scene where I met Branwyn. So
anyway, so Lucy sits down. Lucius is thinking. You can clearly see he's surprised. You attend the meeting in May, but he shrugged and said, "Oh well, whatever." Yes, I request this meeting because I am looking for a solution of the problem that we have. The problem that we have is currently our obfuscated nature, as it will, is compromised by nothing other than furry creatures that stalk rooftops.
Gwen looks up, and if she didn't know any better, like if she were immortal, she would have thought he was crazy. But this is the world of darkness, and vampires and animalism are a thing. So she kind of turns her head to the side. So, spies then? Furry spies?
Yes, furry spies. Cat-like, cat-shaped spies that stalk our kind during the night, and as we come home to lay our heads. The cats tend to relay messages to their master, ending up in compromising our havens and locations and such. Last, remember that the Magnifique Salon was compromised and blown up by this ghastly.
Yes, I'd heard
Let's
about
just
that.
let's just say that this gaslit wasn't necessarily voluntary. It had to be lit by our keeper of Elysium to make sure that our safe passage was granted by ways of damaging the structure of the building. Because if we hadn't, an entire group of undesirables would have passed through our location.
She, nods. Well, then, we should probably do something about that. Cats running around. She gives a kind of a smirk. Like, after all, strays can, potentially carry disease, and all cats need a home, right?
Right. Well, I assume that most of them are stray cats because I think the person who's picking up those cats isn't necessarily very homey, so to speak, very stray herself. For I believe that the master of these cats is Emily, therefore compromising our locations even more.
That she pauses a moment. That would actually make sense. Given her family.
Right. But we need to fix that. I'd rather make sure that these cats don't roam about.
I'm sure I can think of something.
Well, if I may help you suggest anything, I hope that the combination of your Medicaid influence as well as some of the sway you have in the media can turn this problem of ours in a citywide epidemic that needs to be taken care of before it spreads disease and other foul
Sorry. Um, may I may I interrupt for a moment?
Gwen looks towards Lucy.
things. Lucius shrugs.
Maybe we can combine some ideas. I was talking to uh, Theodore and the sheriff and Professor Brandman yesterday, and they were talking about this event that our opponents seem to hold soon. I don't exactly know when, but they called it Pale Grande or something. And they wanted to get people off the streets for it so that when something happens, it wouldn't hurt so many people, so it wouldn't become such a big item and would be more easy to contain. And I was thinking, I used to be a nurse, and I saw people getting very upset over like that bird disease or the Spanish flu. And I came here because I suggested to them that maybe it would be an idea to um, have a few doctors say that there is a virus being spread around, and if the media would pick that up and blow it up a little, and then maybe some people, and she glances at Gwen, who have a very good sway over people, could persuade some people to express the symptoms that already were like discussed in the media.
Even better,
So
I think Gwen's company might be able to make a profit out of a vaccine for a disease that never existed.
and if that disease would be spread amongst others by not domesticated animals, wouldn't you hit like two birds with a stone?
And smiles and thinks for a moment, looking down at her folded newspaper. If they even think there's a disease going around, then, well, hypochondriacs are a real thing.
Hmm. Exactly. And people don't want to uh, go to big events or let their children attend big events. So we would be able to do something about these cats, and we would be able to get the people off the streets for this big event.
When she looks towards Lucius, that actually sounds like a pretty good plan.
I think we can combine two, get those bloody scouts off the street. So our operations from my war coterie, who's going to be formally called the unit or the unity, something like that. We would be very grateful if you could arrange this.
Gwen kind of taps the pen on the folded up newspaper. Yes, I think that would work quite nicely. I can see what I can do.
Lucy will smile broadly. She did a good thing. Yay!
Now, is there anything that you might need to orchestrate this plan of ours? Somewhere where we can give assistance? You just name it, and I'll make sure that we do our best.
Gwen nods. I'll be thinking of a few things. If I have any ideas, I'll be sure that require additional assistance. I'll be sure to let you know.
Maybe if I could make another suggestion. The other new girl, Nikki, she's a veterinarian, or used to be, or is still. I don't really know, but Like if you would have a couple of doctors give statements in the media, and if you would have her give a statement about how animals uh, can progress a disease. Like you would want as many statements stating the same symptoms about.
Do you think it wise for one of us to present ourselves very publicly in the media? Somebody else wants to have an interview with her. What's she gonna do then? Say I can only do it at night? That will never attract attention.
She may have friends doing the same job.
I'm a fan of statements from our kind, but if you think this would work, Miss O'Connor, then it will be fine, I suppose.
When kind of she continues tapping, like she stops tapping, then she puts the pen down. I'll I'll ask her. I'll see if she knows a few people. Perhaps an initiative to keep this disease from spreading, to get the strays off the street, something like that. I think it could work. As long as it's a plausible medical problem that happens with strays, then I don't think there will be an issue necessarily with getting this accomplished.
Isn't the issue with strays that they exist to begin with? That's something to paint over.
The issue with strays is usually that they carry stuff with them, fleas, worms, right?
Yes, and those fleas carry other diseases that can be transmitted to humans. So they should all be rounded up so that they can be treated and held and off the street.
Well, I think it is a great start to get the cat army off the street. Now, if this doesn't work, what's our next step?
If it doesn't work, we'll probably have to go after the source.
Well, I'm also working on the source, but for now, I must tend with the fact that I want to be able to scout the source without walking into a lot of very critters about it.
Right.
That's why I
We
want to
can
have the cats down first, so I
we
can
can
approach closer.
focus on Manhattan. We're not really working in the other boroughs anyway, but we can focus on the cat population. I have a few ideas, so I'll see what I can do.
All
The
right.
problem is making it plausible. Otherwise, it could be ripped to shreds easily. That's the tricky part about the media.
Well, I will leave this in your hands then. I'm sure it will be fruitful, fructitious, I should say.
Anything I can help with?
When thinks for a moment. I mean, if you happen to know some rich people who can help with the effort,
Um, Not personally, but I mean, I could ask my Primogen.
yes, I do know Miss Whitaker has some pretty good contacts in that area. I think she would be a good person to ask.
Okay.
So what is it that you personally do, Miss Lucy Smith? What is it that you're handy at? If it's not getting rich people to do what you want, then where does their specialization lie? You said you're a nurse. You also have medical influence.
No, I'm really new to the city. I haven't been able to find a job yet. I've been busy getting used to this life here. Um, I'm I don't know. I'm just me, and
No,
I
I don't.
like I like to get a job in a hospital maybe at some point. I'm learning to get to know our society a bit better. Um, but
Well,
it
you are fledgling
comes to
after all.
what I'm good at. I can see a lot.
See that.
That's that's a useful
That can be very
that's a
useful
useful
indeed.
skill to have.
And I can make myself be seen, you know, make sure that people look at me, pay attention to me.
Right, Majesty. So I assume that you'll be speaking of the awful present you can have.
At present, yes,
Right.
that's what my sire called it. Yeah.
Very
And
well.
aspects?
Yeah, right. You have a vision with an extended vision with eyes that go and pierce beyond. I understand.
Hmm.
Gwen kind of smiles at in Lucy's direction. Well, and then she looks back to Lucius as well. Well, looks like we've got a lot of work to do. Uh, Rather, I've got a lot of work to do.
Right. So
Uh,
if you need any sort of physical pressure to make people do what you want, let me know.
she nods and looks at Lucy. And, if you need assistance in that area, my dear, that it would be my pleasure. Of course, it is entirely up to you. It might have to wait until after this. She kind of gestures around her. All blows over.
Thank you. That's really kind, and I will definitely think about it.
If my prediction is right, Mr. Kwana, this just don't blow over. This is something that is here to stay, and we need to finish to the end. It's not something that we can just sit out the storm and will leave your house, your life untouched. We lost
She
Elysium, we've lost the Chauncey, we've lost Harlem, we've lost pretty much the northern area of Manhattan, and we are still at war. There is no escaping this flow of damage that has been dealt to us. And I don't think we'll be I don't think we'll be getting off that easy. I think there's a big
Gwen
chance that we will be wiped.
Gwen smiles. That may be true, but I choose to be optimistic.
Well, I hope your
I,
optimism wins from my realization that this is a true nature.
oh, definitely. It's very dangerous. And I'll see it through to the end. Whatever that may be. And she stands, putting her finger up to the Bluetooth in her ear, kind of muttering something quietly, because I must be going. I wish you both a good evening.
Right, indeed. Have a good evening.
Yes, thank you for listening. Good evening, Miss Gwen.
And unless someone has something else to say to her, she'll leave.
Um, Lucius will look at Lucy and say, I assume that you have joined the Invictus Coterie, which is, well, I can't say that I'm a little disappointed, but I understand.
You know that we've discussed this at
I
the
know.
meeting, but there have there have been some complications, and the prince has said that he wants to keep the boundaries as they are, and as a
Fletchlings can't
fledgling,
join coteries.
yeah,
Got it. Well, if you are released from your status, your coterie, like my coterie member Jasmine, learn to stand up for yourself. I I will still be available to accept your clients.
thank you,
We could,
sir.
we could use people like you who have good ideas about how to do things.
It's it's nothing really. It's just, I mean, it wasn't my idea. It was something we came up together, and well,
So this is technically our first working together, so you say.
uh, if you wish to call it that.
I was to just name what I see, and I seem to hear that you just said that it's together with the rest of your coding, meaning that if you came up with this together with the others,
Well,
I represent my coterie, that means we came up with this total plan together. I'm just saying that I appreciate good ideas.
well, thank you. Um, yeah, it was a team effort. I mean, they were discussing that, and I just piped in. Sometimes I should learn to keep my mouth shut, really. But yeah, well, and why not combine ideas? Like if we can, right?
It's appreciated, and of course, I will remember. Well, Miss Lucy Smith, I think it's time we depart each other's ways. I hope
Yes,
we'll see the last of this nightmare of cats.
it's a shame though. I really like cats, but well,
I don't care for them, nor do I hate them. I just, while we are at this stage, consider them to be spies of the enemy, and I will handle spies with the same ferocity as you have seen in the Elysium. I will have none of it.
I, I understand.
You will rise up from his chair and say, spies to be traitors of our kind, as well as I do Emily and anyone else who decides that the tower is something they no longer wish to be under its protection. And I'm sure you hate to make enemies. I wish you a very, very good evening. And
Good evening.
Lucius will take a cigarette, light it up, and walk out of the restaurant.
Lucy will keep seated, staring in front of her for a little bit. And I think we can end the scene with that, unless you want to do something else.
Nope, I'm fine. So I'll close
Okay.
out the scene.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And please enjoy your night.
Good night.